right, welcome back to the debate room, the best podcast ever. The podcast that was doing social distancing before it was cool. What is good, my boy Skip Beatty, my main man, my counterparts. What's good?
What up, man? We gotta break off and just make it us two.
Yep, you know what I'm saying? Just like a Skip and Shannon, Max and Stephen A. I think that'd be pretty cool. We get like a little white girl in the middle and everything. I'm just kidding. All right. Let's talk about the election. I see you got your boy Trump. That's my boy too. I wanted Trump to win. DT, double time, double Trump. I wanted him to win, but he didn't. It's okay. There's still a lot more to go on. It might be overturned, so we'll see about that. But what are your reaction to the debate?
So
not the debate. I'm sorry, the election. My bad.
yeah. So my thing is like obviously I wanted him to win, but I wanted him to win not because I'm a Republican and he was a Republican nominee, right? Like he is clearly the better option of the two, right? Like I'm not looking out for my selfish reasons and wanting him to win, but he actually did good stuff for us, not only in the military, but he did stuff for everybody that helped, right? People didn't like him because he hurt their feelings or whatever, or they were just firm Democrats, and were mad that he won. Didn't have anything to do with political stuff. He's not even a politician. So I guess my thoughts on the election is I mean, however much a president can affect somebody's life, like we're about to find out with Biden, but I don't know. We'll see. What do you think?
All right, I got a couple of questions for you. Just a couple of questions, and let's see where we go from there. Right. So the WHO, right, the World Health Organization, right, it's owned and run by Bill Gates, right? So he's a non-politician, correct? And so he's a millionaire, billionaire, rich guy, right? Do you think that, and either way you look at, even if you agree with the WHO, you don't, whatever, they're still making an impact on people's lives. You know what I'm saying? To a certain degree, whether it's putting information out there and stuff like that, right? Do you think even if Trump loses, that he will continue to make an impact on people's lives? And also, what do you think was stopping him before he was president to make such an impact globally on people's lives? Because because the way I say it, he's in the same boat as Bill Gates, to where he is a millionaire, billionaire. I think he's a billionaire. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he could have been doing the same thing, but he wasn't until he ran for president. So what do you think stopped him from doing that?
Honestly, I don't know why he wasn't doing that before. I mean, maybe he was, right? Maybe he didn't do as much as somebody like LeBron James or whatever with their money and wasn't as public with it. I don't know what Trump has done. I doubt that he didn't do any sort of charity or good for people, but I don't know that. Continuing to go forward, I hope he does. I don't know. I mean, the type of person that he is, I don't know that he will.
Yeah,
I hope he does.
Hate to cut you off. Me and my wife were talking about yesterday. I think Trump did a good job as president, but I think he's done being president because he's already done it. You know what I mean? And I think that he just didn't want to lose the second time around. You know what I mean? Like, he knew he had to defend his crown, but he didn't want to lose, especially in the way that they're making it seem like he lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He wanted it to be fair and square, and like, if he was going to be president again, he's going to be president again.
Yeah, and I honestly do think that. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories, right, going around nowadays. And I do think that a lot of them are true. And I do think that somehow Trump knew about some of the bad stuff that was going on or was going to happen or was planned to happen with Hillary. And I think that's why it got him in the race. And I do think that he really just wanted to help make America better, right? He wasn't in there to fuck anybody over. He was trying to make an impact. But the difference, in my opinion, in between Bill Gates or somebody like Bill Gates, well, specifically Bill Gates and Trump, um, I don't. I think Bill Gates has a lot of bad intentions. I don't think he's the most honorable person, and I think he does a lot of dirty shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if you've looked at um, the stuff that he's doing. I think it's in Africa, one of the countries over there, where he's killed hundreds of thousands of people with his vaccines and stuff that he's trying on them.
Yeah.
Um, he he does a lot of bad shit. I don't. He didn't start out like that. I don't know what happened, but at some point he got turned, and he wasn't. He's not a great person in my opinion anymore. I don't think he does a lot that is for the benefit of the population of America and the world. Honestly, he's the one that's leading, trying to get us to get those chips implanted in our arms.
Yeah, the Mark of the Beast. I don't play that. I don't play that. No.
No, he's hooked up with George Soros and all those bad people, the Rockefellers. He's mixed up with them, and it's bad.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get back to that, to the research aspect, because I want to get into like social media and all that other stuff too. I have one question for you. I have another question for you. All right. So you mentioned that Trump wanted to make America great again, right? And I think he did a good job. You know what I mean? I don't think any president necessarily does a bad job. I think like you could do with all the cards that you're dealt, and you go
Yeah,
from there. You know what I mean? It's a hard. It's not like people try to
yeah.
think like being president is like
They
being
don't have all
a
the
manager
power in
at
the world.
Walmart. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
they
not the
can't
man.
snap their fingers and do what they want. It doesn't
Yeah,
work.
or they're not the manager of Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, and it's at the end of the day, it's not just taxes and other stuff. You have national defense policies. You have all this other stuff that plays into it as well. So it's like a chess match, and you're playing chess against other countries too that aren't our allies. You know what I'm saying? You have to put that into perspective as well. Um, but when do you think America was essentially great? Because I was thinking about something earlier about Biden, but go ahead. I'll let you. And this is not like no trap statement or question or anything like that. This is just a
So, what is
general.
your question? When do I think that it was good?
Yeah.
Um, I honestly don't think that. Like we obviously don't live in a shithole, right? Like America's not
Yeah.
a bad place to
Yeah, we're
be,
not
right?
living in huts in like dirty water. I mean,
Yeah,
Michigan is, but
yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, ultimately, that falls down to the governor and the people of Michigan. It doesn't go to the president.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I don't think that we're in a bad situation, and I don't think we'll be in a terrible situation with whoever's president. I hope. I don't think they have that sort of power. Um, it's just that he didn't he came in trying to make it better than it already was, more freedoms and more liberties,
That's a good
um,
answer.
and we're getting those things taken away from us slowly by uh, every couple of years. People don't notice it because it doesn't happen right away, but at some point you've seen like, oh shit, like I can't have that anymore, I can't do that anymore.
Hmm.
Here in the next couple of years, gun sales are going to be really weird, and being able to have guns, how many guns, what caliber, it's going to be weird. We're slowly to get those things taken away from us, and so I don't think that I couldn't say like when we were at our best, because I don't think we were ever terrible. um, it's little things like Trump did to make things better for people, like the taxes, lowering our taxes, right? um, Increase in pay for military. We've had the most raise while Trump's been in here than we've ever had.
It's still not
Um,
great, but yeah, sure.
Not great, but it's better than it was, right? Like
Yeah.
the shit that we do and put up with, we shouldn't be wealthy by any means, but compensated decently.
Yeah. I'm working 12s out here.
And
Loaded.
obviously, you're not going to make everybody happy. So everybody has a different opinion about that.
Yeah. But see, so the point I was getting to, I was thinking about it earlier, and it was like, make America great again, right? And oftentimes people think about maybe like 50 years ago or so, right? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
as short as we're gonna get with that. But it's like I was thinking about Joe Biden and how he's roughly been in politics for like 50 years. So at some point, you know what I mean, he was in politics when America was great again. You know what I'm saying? And whether he taps into like to how it was either beginning of when he got into politics or something like that, I think on a positive note, talking about the who could be our future president, you know what I mean, instead of putting out just negative stuff, um, maybe he has the possibility of making it great too. Um, that's what I was just thinking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely could do good things. It just depends how you look at it, depends who you are and your views on it, right? So he could take, like, for instance, he could take, like I said, gun liberties away from people. That's a big deal to me. While it may not be a big deal to somebody else, good things that he could or would do have the same effect. They could be good or
Oh,
not
well,
affect.
I think that all military first responders should have guns, no problem. We've all been tested by the government, like, you know what I mean, to have guns. So that's
Yeah, I
no.
mean and with a president too, right? Being in the military or working for the government, your liberties are already limited because of your line of work. And so
Yeah,
for us, it can't be that much worse unless he takes away a lot of our pay or benefits.
that
Um,
that would be catastrophic. I'm done. So,
so
go ahead, man.
here's one question that I had though.
Hmm.
So people have seen people seem to blame Trump for um, cop killings, right? Or for cop killings on African Americans or other colors, right? Or other races. Him being out of office, it seems from what I've seen on social media that people are like, oh, okay, the problem's fixed. Like it's not going to happen anymore. But
No,
that is not fucking true, right? That
that's
doesn't,
not true at all. That's not true at
you
all.
can't, you can't kill, or
No,
these cops are not doing what they're doing by order of the president.
I'll stop you right there. Rodney King, Trump was not president when Rodney King got shot or got beat up. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's dumb to blame him for that. I think people are
So I
just.
don't see why people think that problem is now magically solved that Trump is out of office.
I think the only thing that um, you can say or answer with that is it, it's like a personal power that like a backup. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a
Like
lot
for
of people. I think
Biden to take action on when that happens.
yeah. Honestly, I don't know because. And let me get back to that point. I don't. A lot of people think that Trump is racist. I don't. I've never thought Trump was a racist person. I've never thought that in my life. I've always thought there were certain people who used his message in a racist manner. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And those were his supporters. Without him, you know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think when people like when he says "Make America Great Again," there are certain people in the Republican Party who took that as, "Oh, let's get rid of let's like raise up white supremacy." You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But that's not what he meant.
No. And the thing is that could have happened in either party, right?
Yeah.
It just happens to be that the redneck Americans are Republican for whatever reason or whatever their reason is. And
Hmm.
so when they raise the flag saying Trump, whatever, make America great again, it comes across as racist.
Yeah.
But only because the group of people that they are. If, for instance, if when Obama was in office, if he had some sort of slogan or something like "Make America Great Again," I would venture to say that Democrats won, and some of those Democrats could be African American, would rep that flag like Trump supporters did, and then it could come off racist that way. But it could go both ways, right? And
Mhm.
so I don't think, yeah, I don't fall for that racist shit with Trump. I don't
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
I get, yeah, I understand that. So what have you been seeing also on social media? Like, have you noticed a difference with like your friends, your family, stuff like that? Like,
Um, for my family, not necessarily like a difference, just kind of like worried ish because I don't know, for their personal reasons, stuff that Biden has campaigned to take away or to do or whatever could affect them one way. But more on social media, just it's not even celebrating that Biden won. It's celebrating that Trump lost,
mm,
which is it doesn't make sense to root against somebody but not for somebody for reasons of just not liking him and then not caring ultimately who's in office. It doesn't make sense. It's
sounds like you and LeBron, but you know.
uh, Ron's a whole other story. That motherfucker paid millions of dollars for people in Florida to vote, right? Which is
Yeah.
borderline illegal. And then they didn't even win Florida. So LeBron's a fucking joke.
Oh, so is
But
Michael Jordan then too?
Jordan did it too. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck. No,
Wow.
but ultimately it was I mean, it wasn't a waste. It was a good thing that they did or tried to do, but they did it in spite of Trump. They didn't do it like, hey, I'm gonna go help this dude, help him vote, help this felon get his life back and vote. No, they did it to gather votes against Trump, and they did it in Florida, which has historically been the most swing state, right? Whoever wins Florida most of the time has won. It didn't happen this time, but most of the time, whoever wins Florida wins.
Mm.
And so they're them choosing Florida to do. LeBron has no connection to Florida. Michael Jordan has no connection to Florida.
Really?
Them, I mean, connection maybe they have an uncle or grandma, whatever there.
LeBron
But
has no connection to Florida.
what does he have?
Where did he play at?
He's from Ohio.
Where did he play
My
at?
Miami. He went there to win rings. He ring chased.
Oh, come on. Because
There's
he also partnered with the Miami Heat and the Orlando Magic. So you got Mickey Harrison, Pat Riley, and all them other people too.
with
That
Orlando. No connection with Orlando.
he just got done winning a chip there. The
That's
NBA
not
was
a connection. That's not a deep connection. It would have
he
made
does have
sense
a
if he did that
connection
in
with
Ohio. If
he
he did
does
that in Ohio, makes sense.
he does have a connection with the Orlando Magic. He's in the NBA brotherhood. Like he plays for the NBA. That's a connection.
But out of all the other places, he could have done it in Cleveland. He could have done it in Ohio, where he played. He could have done, and Ohio. He's from Akron, whatever, Akron. He's from there. That would have made sense. Not only because he played there and that was his first team, but he was born and raised there. If I'm
But
not
what if he
mistaken,
didn't have the same amount of people to collectively make that amount of money? Does that make sense? For the same agenda.
he didn't have like
Like, you know
say,
what I'm saying? Like, what if he couldn't get the Cleveland Browns owner and president? He couldn't get the like Dan Gilbert wasn't probably gonna like, you know what I'm saying? Because him and Dan Gilbert don't even get along. You know what I mean? And so
yes, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, why did okay, well, I don't know this. Did Orlando and LeBron and all the and Michael and all those guys, did they team up and do it together, or did they all like separately help these people in Orlando to do it?
it was a
Or
team.
did they come together with the same agenda?
It was a collective thing between all of
So it
them.
was a collective thing. That's a little bit even more suspicious that they did it in Florida.
Now, Michael, I will say, out of the bunch that was named, has no connection to Florida. Now, University of Florida, they're sponsored by Jordan. I know that for sure. Jordan used to have a shop in Orlando, but then they left. So I don't know. I don't know. That's kind
Okay,
of
so but agree with me or tell me that it doesn't out of all the states, right? That
mm-hmm.
so Florida is what 36 electoral votes, some fucking huge in the 30s.
I can look it up.
Why why choose Florida, who has historically been the key state to winning? Why go there and not any of the other states?
You know, well, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
And all those guys are more than likely Democrat and supporting Joe Biden or anti-Trump.
It's true. I mean,
it's slightly sus.
It's 29 electoral votes.
29.
29. It's a lot.
But they weren't going to go to Texas. They weren't going to do that shit in Texas because Texas has always been red. It might not be here in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to do that shit in Texas because they know they're not going to win it in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a key swing state like that. Anyway, that's just something I've noticed. Yeah, I mean, I see so much shit on social media. It's and I've seen that people talking about like okay, they've made it seem like Trump was coming for their rights of LGBTQ whatever that group, like he's trying to take away their rights as I don't know what the fucking proper word is, but gays trying to take away
them.
yeah, take away their rights. He wasn't.
Yeah.
They have it. They can get married.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question also. Have you seen a lot of bandwagon supporters like for Trump and Biden? Because I have, and it's actually been kind of annoying. Like I've seen people been like, "Oh, I'm a brand new Republican. I've seen the light. I'm woke now." No. And they're just taking pictures in Trump shirts, and every single minute of every single day they want to post up to seem like they're validated as a Republican. But here's my thing. And this is no insult. If I love you, I love you. You know, baby, I love you. All right.
No.
You know that. You know that I love you. All right. People need to stop thinking that they are some political science professors, that they do mass amount of research, like on actual research engines and websites. Like Google is not a research engine. It's a search engine, but there are not a lot of journals and books and stuff that you can actually access on Google. Does that make sense? You can access websites. That's okay. Yeah.
And it's Democrat ruled or ran anyway, so you're not gonna find what you want on there anyway.
Oh yeah. Hey kids, check out Social Dilemma. Yeah. On Netflix. But it's just getting so annoying when I see people like, hey, yeah, I did all this research, but I'm like, oh, where did you research at? Oh, it was on Google and YouTube. What?
Yeah.
What? Like, bro, and it's like a lot of people are making me upset because they'll say something, but they're regurgitating what they saw on the news. But then 2 posts later, they'll be like, we can't trust the media. What?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, you also have to realize media is not just what you see on TV. It's the websites you go to. It's the newspapers that you read and stuff like that. And I think people also need to understand that if you're not there in the moment, take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may hear something's going on, but if you're not really there, a lot of people like were being highly disrespectful. Like we're American government workers. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people are being disrespectful to the people in the post office and other things like that for all this mail-in stuff. Those are hardworking American blue-blooded people too, personnel. You know what I'm saying? They're government workers and they're being disrespectful too. So what's the difference between people disrespecting us, the military, and disrespecting them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's just ridiculous. I don't condone that at all.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I don't particularly have any beef with USPS or
my stuff can get here faster, but yeah.
Yeah, right. I don't hold them collectively responsible for anything or any of this. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I will say, and this is not the Postal Service as a whole, it is obviously higher ups that have their own agenda. But some of the postal offices were judicially ordered to check for ballots. And they completely defied the judicial order and wouldn't do it and said, no, we're not going to do it. Right.
Now,
And so that's nothing against, and that's no reason to go bash any postal worker or whatever. That's not what I'm saying.
yeah,
They did do that. That was sus. But yeah, I agree with you.
I agree with you because we're all subject to some type of like evilness, corruption, whatever you want to say. You know, even the military. Like you're in legal now, right? And I bet you see a whole bunch of stuff that we're military personnel. We're supposed to be God's warriors, God's angels. You know what I'm saying? Like people supposed to look at us as role models, but you got commanders looking at kiddie porn. You know what I'm saying? You got people beating up, like doing domestic violence and stuff like that,
Yeah.
assaults. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you've seen it already, and it's sad, but it happens. It happens. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, so one thing with, so I don't know. I don't even know. I know you were not anti or really pro Trump. I think you liked what was good and you didn't like what was not good or whatever. Um, one thing that I am curious about, and you and I may never know, us normal people may never know, but I'm about to make a phone call to a friend in the NFL. Um, and I, I feel like we're close enough that he will tell me, but I am very curious why athletes like LeBron and really, I mean, really the athletes and actors, whatever, celebrities, most of these people are Democrats, or at least that I have seen. And I am very curious as to why. Like, not that I'm trying to change anybody's mind or change their mind. I'm genuinely curious why. Are they, when you have that much money, are you part of something, or do you know stuff that us normal people don't? Does that make sense? Like Bill Gates, when he started out, like he had no corruption. He was doing actual good, right? And then he became a billion trillionaire, whatever, and all of a sudden started doing sketchy things. And not that a lot of these celebrities are doing sketchy things, but for what reason are like 90% of them Democrat? Um, I don't get that. And especially with Biden coming out saying that if you make over 200,000 a year, you're gonna get like a 40%. Huh?
400,000.
Was it four?
Yeah.
If you're making X amount of money, you're gonna get your taxes raised to what, like 30-40%? That's the word on the street. I don't know how accurate that is, but it is going to raise if you make more money.
Mhm.
So why are they for this person that is going to raise their taxes tremendously?
So I think you have to still look at them like, take it like in school, right? You have to remember these celebrities, they're still they're still artists, they're still actors, they're still musicians. You know what I'm saying? 87% of the NFL or the NBA or whatever is African American, 70% in the NFL, or I don't know, whatever. A great percentage of them are black. You know what I'm saying? So you got to remember they're not forgetting where they came from. Just because they're making X amount of money now, they're not going to forget where they came from. A lot of these celebrities, you got to remember, also gay, lesbian. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember that they still have belief systems that still align. Even though they make X amount of money, they still align with
Where they came from? Yeah, that makes sense.
you know what I mean? So it's not like, and I'm all down for conspiracy theories. I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I'll go on YouTube, rabbit hole, do the whole thing. You know what I mean? But I think sometimes people think way too into it. Like
That's cool.
you, and I think you've always given LeBron credit for this, but he's never forgot where he came from.
Yeah.
Like he always gives back to the inner city, Akron, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what he does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just think that I think it's just more of like, I don't think it's something that but I think Snoop Dogg said it though. I think he said everybody was cool with Trump. Everybody was cool with him when he wasn't president. He had money, and he was, you know what I'm saying, doing this and that.
Yeah.
But once had that money and then he had the power, I think they were saying people started to see him differently within that circle. And
Yeah.
so that's I think another reason as well. But ultimately, I think interesting is like that's where their belief system still align with. I don't think it has anything to do with
Yeah.
because
That makes
you're
sense.
right because they voted for him and they're going to take a big tax cut. Like they're losing money at the end of the day, but they're still like, you know what I'm saying? They're still voting for the guy, so there has to be something else, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
I just, but yeah. I mean, I'm DT Trump. You know what I'm saying? Donald, what's good with it? Chief, yeah.
We can only hope here in the next couple of weeks, but it is what it is, right? Like Obama didn't make my life terrible. I doubt Biden will make my life terrible.
Yeah, I don't think any president. I don't think you'll ever see like
Yeah.
Trump.
They're
Trump didn't make anybody's life terrible. You know what I mean? Like no president is gonna make your life really that much like worse. Now there was like war on drugs and everything, implanting drugs into the local economic cities. I get all that. You know that ultimately did make things worse for people. But
Harris led that front, and
but
then smoked weed herself.
but we'll see, bro. We'll see. I think it's gonna be interesting. I saw a Simpsons post. It said like it was like the election, people wearing a face mask, and then like January 20th, 2021, it was like doomsday. So
They're historically super accurate, so I don't doubt it.
no, okay. Side note, funny thing is Futurama, Simpsons spinoff.
Yeah.
It's like it's season 6, episode 6. On the beginning of the title or the intro, it says, "All travels to the year 2020 is prohibited." And mind you, this came out like 10 years ago, like 10, 12 years ago. So, yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's weird.
Hide your kids, hide your wives.
Real.
It's done. But all right, man. It's been cool talking to you. I love you, man. Keep hope alive, all that good stuff. I got some memes I'm going to share with you later. I love you. Say hi to the family. I love your kids. Love your wife. Tell them black people love you too. You know what I'm saying? Power to the people. Hey, thank y'all for watching us. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the Debate Room on YouTube and Instagram. We have a Facebook page as well. Like, comment, all that good stuff.